Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you guys another one of my Cardfight Vanguard collection videos. Today we're going to be taking a break from the main booster sets and focus more on the extra booster sets for Cardfight Vanguard. With these sets, these are sets that are basically the smaller of the boxes. They originally were 15-pack boxes and then shortened to smaller sizes with the later booster sets, but all the ones in this binder are from booster sets Extra Booster 1 through 9. We were able to fit a lot more of them into one binder since they are also smaller sets, obviously. But let's go ahead and get started with the collection. Alright, to start off, we have Extra Booster 1, Comic Style. Now, interesting fact about the Comic Style set, this was actually the first set we received for the Extra Boosters. They actually went in reverse order, and we received Extra Booster 3, Cavalry of Black Steel, and then Extra Booster 2, Diva's Duet, and then we received Extra Booster 1, Comic Style. So it was kind of like a different order. I think they did it mostly to revolve around the fact that we got the Breaker of Limits pack first, so they wanted to give us more support for that, and then focus on the other clans like Pale Moon and Mega Colony and whatnot. But with the first comic booster, most of them followed the trend that you received 2 triples, and then the rest were doubles, so 5 doubles and 2 triples. With the first comic booster 1, we received Perfect Riser and Dueling Dragon Zanbaku, giving support for Murakumo, I believe in Japan before the actual Murakumo support came out in Awakening of the Twin Blades. We also had some support for Mega Colony, Oracle Think Tank, Nova Grappler, and Murakumo, I think were the main 2 sets in this pack. But like I said, this one was a pretty wide varied one where they gave support for a good amount of the decks in total. As you can see, they gave us a good amount of support, whether it be in the form of generic grade 3s and basically grade 2 support. Sage of Guidance Xenon was also the only card that could be SP in this pack. It also gave an alternate art to the card art that you see here. We also received a good amount for the Riser series. You can see we received Riser Custom, High-Powered Riser Custom, and Perfect Riser, which was the main focus for this. Cat Butler was also released in this set. A couple reprints as well, including Battle Riser, and like I said, more of the Murakumo support in this set as well. And we also received a couple triggers for other ones, Machining being another big focus set in this pack with its trigger lineup, and grade 1 and 2 support for power plays. A couple cards, I think Spike Brother might have received only 1 card in total in this whole set. But like most of these sets, it was a 35 card set at the time, which was the number for extra boosters. Moving on, we have Banquet of Divas. This was the first extra booster that featured a whole clan, that clan being Bermuda Triangle. And with this one we received, it was pretty much generic support in the beginning. There wasn't really focused on deck at the point. You would basically mix all the cards together, which we received Perle and Perla. Also received Riviere and Pacifica as our only 2 triple rares in the pack. Mermanetto Ellie was the first perfect guard for Bermuda Triangle as well. Plenty of support just to customize the deck how you wanted it as well if you didn't get full rarities. But we also had the first alternate art SP as well for the Bermudas with Girls Rock Rio. It wasn't really too big a difference on her actual art. They kind of just changed a few features, including her legs and a couple other things, colors, her winking, and the card art as well. But other than that, pretty much stayed the same, and we didn't have any more drastic changes until the later Bermuda sets where they started differing the SPs. But kept in the fashion, like in Comic Style, we had 5 double rares and 2 triple rares, along with a good amount of rares, but like I said, mainly focused on all Bermuda Triangle. The Riviere Ride Chain was also first introduced in this set, kept with the same rarity as the other ride chains for that kind of style, with the grade 0 and grade 2 being the rares. We also had Reindeer, first introduced in this set, but like I said, it was mostly all generic support, and this wasn't the first time that Bermuda Triangle had support. They reprinted cards like Top Idol Aqua and Mermaid, I believe Top Idol Aqua and Blazer Idols, and also Top Idol Floors were the main units that were reprinted in this set, along with also Caravel, which all were originally in the Onslaught of the Dragon Souls. We also had a good line of triggers in this set as well, including enough to customize how you wanted to, with 7 triggers in total. And basically, the starter you'd want to use for generic, and then obviously the Riviere starter for the ride chain. And then moving on, we have Cavalry of Black Steel. Now this one was the first extra booster we received in English. And then, like I said, they went backwards, and then they went in correct order. But with this one, we had more of the support that focused on the limit break decks, including Gold Paladin. And they also gave limit break support for the first time to Royal Paladin and Kagero and Shadow Paladin as well. Mega Colony also received its first limit break support that it would get, Spike Brother as well. And they want to get more of that support until the later booster packs for the Break Ride era, basically. We also had some Dudley support. Dudley Emperor was the start to all that big support, but Jelly Beans, Dudley Daisy, other cards as well. The Spectral Duke Ride Chain was a big one of this set as well that a lot of people wanted. Mega Colony support, pretty much the generic support that the deck kind of was expecting for a good while now, but we also received some other cards like Zachary for Spike Brothers. The triggers were kind of small in this set compared to other extra booster sets. I think we had the stand for Spike Brothers. It was also kind of a bigger set as well because they added additional cards into this set that weren't originally in the Japanese set, including some Oracle Think Tank. Oracle Think Tank wasn't actually in this set at all when it came out in Japan, but they added promo cards to this set, giving us a total of 4 new Oracle Think Tank cards in this set. Like I said, increasing the numbers. We also received new 10Ks for Shadow Paladin, Kagero, and Royal Paladin as well. So kind of like a different take. They were the cards used by Daigo as well in the anime when he used the limit break cards. Kind of like the Royal Paladin cards that weren't sealed away, which I always thought would have been cool if they showed us these as well in some alternate form, but I guess they just didn't have any way to make use of them in the episode at the time. But that is how they wrapped up Cavalry of Black Steel. And then after that set was released, they started going with the trend of just keeping the extra booster sets to basically 1 or maybe even 2 at times sets. When they released the Nova Grappler set, which was Extra Booster 4, they added more support for risers, kind of revamped the risers as well from the original comic style, and also the big focus in this set was the Death Army support, which we received in Cosmo Lord and Perfect Riser, like I said, for risers being the first 2 main triple rares in this set. We also received reprints for Magician Girl Kirara, Beast Deity, Azure Dragon, a high-powered Riser Custom, and Twin Blader, which was the first time we got the Perfect Guards for other sets besides Gold Paladin and Narukami as reprints. So pretty cool to see that. Also reprints from the trial decks as well were first shown in this set. We also had Street Bouncer reprint, like I said, Death Army reprints as well, including Lady and Guy, which were originally in Demonic Lord Invasion, but just reprinted for this set in easier forms to get if you wanted to build the deck. Also more generic support, including NGM Prototype, Tough Boy, Oasis Girl, and Screaming and Dancing Announcer Shout. But it was kind of like that set where you wanted to just buy that booster pack and then you could build the deck from what you pulled from the set, which is basically what they were going for from the extra boosters from then on out. If you wanted to build Nova Grappler, you could acquire everything you needed just from this set alone, including the triggers, which they give a good amount of 6 to 7 triggers for each extra booster. And then they followed suit with the, I think the set was called Celestial Valkyries, if I'm not mistaken, for Extra Booster 5 for Oracle Think Tank. Now this set basically gave us all you needed to build a Battle Sister deck and also more support for CEO Amaterasu. The big reprint was the CEO Amaterasu and the Scarlet Witch Coco, along with the alternate version of Silent Tom, which was the original anime art that we didn't receive in Onslaught of the Dragon Souls, so a lot of people were happy when we did get this actual art for the card in this set. But this set did focus on a pretty good amount of reprints as well, including Sakuya, which also came out in the trial deck for Oracle Think Tank. Battle Sister Macaroon had her first printing in this set as well. Battle Sister Chocolate getting the reprint as well. Made in a Libra, downgrading to rare. which is what I find interesting. Gold Rutile for Nova Grappler was a rare in this set. It was a foil in the trial deck, but Made in a Libra was a rare, which was a double rare in the original pack. They kind of like reversed the roles of Sakuya, Gold Rutile, and Made in a Libra, and Magician Girl Kirawa with this set, which I just find very funny. Other cards included Battle Sister Coco, again from a triple rare to a rare, Mocha to a rare as well. But basically, same trend as Nova Grappler, getting everything you need for the deck in one booster pack. And like I said, the big focus were the Battle Sisters, which were very prominent in this set as well. But if you wanted to build CO and Amaterasu, they gave you basically two options in this set, which I did find was pretty cool. Also, trigger lineups the same, 7, just like in the Nova Grappler pack. Moving on to Extra Booster 6, which continued on the Bermuda Triangle theme, which is how they would from then on do all their Bermuda support. With this support set, we actually got more support and introduced the Prism deck, which was the first look at subclans for Bermuda Triangle. We had the Prism Promise Laprador and Vert for your main grade 3s that you would use for the deck. Also gave us the new Ride Chain in the form of Aurora Star Coral, which would also later go on to be a much bigger deck in the later sets. Mermaid Idol Ellie also received a reprint in this with also an alternate art, which was quite interesting at the time, which they would later do for a lot of other packs. Cross Ride for Eternal Idol Pacifica. So what they did with this pack is they gave support to some of the old decks, but they also, like I said, introduced main ones for the Limit Break format as well. You can see that available in a lot of their cards. They had like the generic support for the Prisms, kept to the Ride Chain, basically in the same way that they do for all their Ride Chains of that kind. They also reprinted Sedna, the 8K, gave us some Limit Break support as well with damage inflictors, more generic grade 3 support as well, and as well as some just generic Bermuda support that could work with all the different types of decks as well. But gave us a lot more triggers since we always didn't get as many cards for Bermuda since they weren't in every single pack, so they had to give it to us as much as they could. And then the next one they gave was Extra Booster 7, which was the Magus pack. This one introduced the Magus subclan for Oracle Think Tank as a much bigger deck. We did receive some Magus support beforehand, but in Mystical Magus we received that, and also Limit Break, more Battle Sister Limit Break for the deck as well, so you can mix and match with the cards from Extra Booster 5 as you wanted. These were the two main decks focused on in this pack. You could either build Magus or you could build Battle Sister, which is something they tried to do with some of these later Extra Booster sets. Choose between one of the two decks that you wanted to build from these sets. So Magus and Battle Sister both received a pretty good equal amount of support in this. Also a reprint of Evil Eye Princess Uriel, and also you can see another Perfect Guard for Magus to run since Battle Sisters technically already had theirs. We also had reprints from set 7 like Little Witch Lulu. We had other reprints like Oracle Guardian Gemini, other generic support for Battle Sisters and Magus as well. Reprint of Macaroon. It was just that kind of support set, since also during this time Genesis was more focused on in the main booster set instead of Oracle Think Tank. So this was kind of their way of giving Oracle Think Tank more support than they were doing with the main booster sets. And they also included a good amount of triggers, including actual triggers to be used now with the Battle Sisters as well. We're getting down to the last two extra boosters in this set. We had Extra Booster 8, which introduced more Nova Grappler support, including making Blau a bigger deck. We originally received Blau in Eclipse of Illusionary Shadows, but now we received more of it in this booster pack. We also received Ashura Kaiser Cross Ride to work with that, making that kind of a deck of its own as well. But the big focus in this were the Ashura Kaiser and the Blau deck. Blau being the most prominent, I noticed, with it having a Perfect Guard, grade 3 options, and grade 2, grade 1, taking up most of the hollow spots for this pack, and also most of the rare spots as well, with Morganrot, Plenty of grade 2 support, Brutal Jack reprint, and more generic support, which also appeared in the original Extra Booster 4 as well. Plus a pretty good trigger lineup as well, with most of the new cards being the cards that's focused around the artwork for the Blau decks. And the last Extra Booster set is the Transcendence set for Kagero. This was Extra Booster 9, and the main focus in this one was a good amount of generic Kagero support. Nouvelle, the grade 4, being the big hyped up card of the set, since it was the first actual grade 4 to be playable in the main deck without any repercussions, no limits to when it could be played and whatnot. Also had another reprint, not so much a reprint, but a new Perfect Guard as well in the set. Plenty of grade 3 options, most of them generic support. There wasn't like a focused on deck. A Draconic Overlord support reprinted as well with the original artwork from the trial deck. A reprint of Draconic Lawkeeper from Cavalry of Black Steel, but a good amount of support that focused on Nouvelle as well. They also reprinted Goku from the original trial deck, Conroe reprint as well. Nouvelle support, but also, like I said, generic Kagero support was the main key focus in this booster set. Plus a lot of old cards as well, if you notice, and some promo ones as well were made official in this set. And actually, I don't know if they received any new triggers in this Kagero set. All these are actual reprints from older sets, including Descent of the King of Knights, the original Kagero trial deck, extra BTO2 and BTO4 as well. So I think this set actually had no new triggers introduced in total. But that is it for my first Extra Booster collection. I'm probably going to go back and forth between the Extra Boosters and the main booster sets just to keep things a little fresh. So my next video will most likely be doing the sets after BT10, so it will be BT11 through BT13. I hope you guys definitely look forward to it. Also, once again, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And until next time, Kira Qualia out.